You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Yes, you are watching KUTV Primetime News, and we are back. As I promised you before, we'll be talking about youth empowerment through employment, and we are going matters digital. You can call it online. People have been involved in online works, online businesses, online writing, which is very common in the country. Some of the things we shall be focusing on today and see the trajectory we are taking and how we can prepare ourselves best to make sure we are in a better economic position. Joining me right now is Teresios Bundi from Ajira Digital, who is the program assistant manager, and Zablon Mutwiri joining me. If you're a big fan of KUTV Primetime News, you know Zablon Mutwiri from Ajira Digital, who is a program trainer. And of course, they're here to talk about empowerment of the youth through employment, and we shall be looking at digital space. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Yes, kindly introduce yourself. Tell us what makes you so passionate about digital matters and your involvement with Ajira Digital. Some of the things I have not mentioned about you. Let's begin here.
Thank you so much, Martin. My name is Teresios Bundi. I'm very passionate about youth empowerment, program management, digital and gig economy, as well as research. Currently, I'm a program assistant manager working with e-mobilities under the Ajira Digital Program. And it's nice to be here. So I'm very passionate about the youth, and we are going to expound much more about the digital economy and the online work.
Definitely. But Zablon, over to you.
Thank you again, Mr. Martin. My name is Zablon, as you heard. I'm a Ajira curriculum trainer working with e-mobilities. And the reason why I focus on digital space is because that it has a lot of flexibility. Like you don't need to go to the office, you can work anywhere. So there is a lot, again, you can achieve through the Ajira or the online space. So today we are here and we are going to elaborate more about the Ajira Digital Program, and as well how to work online and earn a decent wage from online space. Thank you.
Definitely. And as we continue to speak about Ajira, Ajira is Kiswahili for employment, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot talk about Ajira without talking about employment. And this country and all over the world, this time has been known for vast youth unemployment. Let's begin with putting things into perspective and looking at how the situation is. But Teresios, maybe you can help me answer this. What is the state of unemployment in this country when it comes to youth employment?
Yeah, indeed, Martin. The state of youth unemployment in the country is dire, and I would say it's a global situation currently. As a matter of fact, youth unemployment rate currently is at 38.9%. The youths who are not employed, which is close to around 5.3 million youths without jobs. And that has been made even worse with the current global pandemic. So that situation is dire, and that's why we need alternative sources of employment. And that's why it's very nice that we're talking about digital work as an alternative source of employment. So, in fact, according to the African Development Bank, it projects that by 2050, there will be 830 million youths in Africa who will not be employed, and that's a reason to worry. That statistic is worrying. So, I think we are at a stage where we need to really talk about what are the alternative sources of employment and how we can leverage on them to empower our youths. Yeah.
Who are already saying there are no jobs. Let's talk about that, Bana Zablon. The youth are saying there are no jobs, and they're almost now getting into the streets and raising placards in the air and saying there are no jobs in the country. How true is this statement? Is it entirely true that there are no jobs, or maybe could be that there are certain jobs that are there, but the youth have not taken them up?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martin.
Can you take your mic up?
All right. Sorry. All right. I believe there are jobs that will depend on an individual. So there are jobs, and on the other side, you can say there are no jobs. There are jobs and there are no jobs. But I will elaborate that. So, for instance, if someone maybe want to start a small business, you know, you need to get out from your comfort zone so that you can start from somewhere. So you can't maybe start climbing a tree from the top. You need to start from the bottom. So if maybe you just move from your comfort zone and start a small business, then that's one youth who have seen that there is an opportunity, there is unemployment. But there are some others, some of our youths, those who have maybe graduated, and some have degrees and some have maybe second degree, but you are there sitting and you are saying there are no jobs. The reason why some of our youths are saying there are no jobs, it's because they have stayed in their comfort zone. So I believe if someone can get out of their comfort zone, then they can start unemployment. So I believe there are jobs. Yes.
And there are no jobs at the same time. But you have to understand, read in between the lines.
Yes.
Let's talk about, now that there are jobs and there are no jobs, it means that there are job opportunities that you might be creating in Ajira. Let's talk about what's happening in Ajira. And in a nutshell, what is Ajira Digital doing to solve this problem that is, you know, facing the country and beyond our borders, actually?
Okay, thank you, Martin. So the Ajira Digital Program is a government initiative that was launched by the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs. And we have a very deliberate mission to ensure that we empower or we link 1 million Kenyan youths to digital and digitally enabled jobs annually, every 1 year. So what we are doing is we are empowering the youth by offering them training opportunities. We are training on 5 job categories. We have transcription. We train them on digital marketing and e-commerce. We train them on data entry and management. We also train them on virtual assistants and content writing and development. So those skills, we believe, are the skills they need because we are dealing with millennials, Generation Y, Generation Z. These are the people who grew in this internet era, so they know the ins and outs of internet. So and I'm glad some of them have been able to unlock those mysteries on how you can make use of internet to earn from it. So we train them and we offer them mentorship for a period of 1 month. And from there, we also offer them job linkages, whereby now we link them to opportunities through the online labor platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, People Per Hour. We have many platforms that our trainers are able to link the mentees who join the program, and they are able to earn a decent wage. And that is what we aspire. In fact, at Ajira, we want to position Kenya as a global destination for online jobs. So anyone who wants skills, then by the year 2022, they will be able to come to Kenya and be able to get qualified people who can complete tasks that they have. Yeah.
So you train people and give them placement in those environments that you've talked about.
That's
Maybe
right.
I can move over to Zablon, and maybe you can step in later in case he forgets some of the things I'm just about to ask him to list. People are very passionate. When they hear about whatever you're talking about, they want to understand what are the job opportunities in the digital spaces. Can you at least list them, and this is what you can do in online, this is what you can do, this is what you can do, so that they can understand some of the things that they can do even as they seek to get opportunities.
All right. So as my colleague has highlighted about the 5 categories we do train. So on virtual assistant, we have different job titles that we can focus on. Like for instance, you can be trained on being to be a digital project manager. You can be trained as a financial assistant. You can also be trained as an event manager. So those are some of the services that we train under virtual assistant. The same case when you go to data management, you find that you can be trained on data entry. So you learn how to do data entry. You can also learn how to do data collection, data analysis, and and so on. The same when you go to writing and translation, you learn that there are so many things that you can learn as well, and there are so many job titles that you can venture on under writing and translation. Like for instance, you can be a ghostwriter. That's when now you write some articles, maybe for a company or maybe for individuals who publish as their own. You can be a web content writer, so you can be creating content on website, blog, and so on. So those are some of the job title under writing and translation. When it comes to transcription again, so on transcription, you can be converting audio to text. It's just very easy. Actually, those are some of the jobs that you don't need to bid. You just take the jobs because on the platform, the jobs are biddable. So it's just for you to take the job and start working on it. Okay. So on transcription, we have only just converting audio to text. Then we have the digital marketing. So that's now you can creating content on promotion materials for maybe for a certain product, maybe for a certain company. You can be also doing email marketing just for a company as well. And you can also do affiliate marketing. Is also another job title you can focus on under digital marketing. Affiliate marketing means you can sell someone else's product only if you have a tracking link that can earn you a commission. Like for instance, maybe if you have a website or maybe a blog and you want to maybe to share content on health and fitness, so you can have a tracking link from Jumia or maybe Alibaba, which provides these materials maybe for health and fitness. So if someone buys these products, then you get a commission. You earn a commission. That's what now affiliate marketing is. And also you can be a search engine optimization. You can be driving traffic for a certain product of a company. So those are some of the job titles we train under the 5 categories.
Amazing. I think he has done very well. Do you want to add something?
Actually, there are so many it's that we cannot exhaust them. Voice artistry, voiceover, you can use voiceover artistry, there's graphic design. There are all sorts of jobs that you can do, online. And, the Englishman said, Martin, that when life throws lemons, what do? You take the lemons and make lemonade. And I'm glad that the Kenyan youth have been able to take advantage of the internet and the digital age that we are in. And they have taken the lemon of unemployment and have now made a very sweet lemonade. And you find a software developer who graduated and wanted to maybe join a company but didn't, but now is using those skills to get into online work, provides those skills in a platform like Upwork, and is earning big buck. So there are so many skills that you can employ and use in online work and be able to earn a decent wage.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now the Englishman also said that a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step.
That's true.
And there's someone seated at home and they're wondering, I need to take the first step as in search of an online job. Just before we get back to Zablon, I want you to take us through how I, as a young person, can take my first step to make sure I get an opportunity to learn digital courses and go into online business or jobs. Bearing in mind that in some places in this particular country, the internet connectivity is poor. Yeah. Bearing in mind also that in some places people don't have some of these gadgets that are key in doing some of this work and training as well. What is the first step?
Thank you, Martin. The first step that you need to take, definitely, you need to have the passion to learn, and that's what we emphasize on. And not worry about the lack of devices at the moment. As long as you have the passion, the first step that you need to take is go to Ajira portal, which is ajiradigital.go.ke, create a profile, and then book a training session. After you book a training session, you're going to get instructions on how you can join a virtual class, because right now we are doing virtual trainings due to this global pandemic. But also to mention that across the country we have Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, over 100 centers across the country. So this is a place where the young people can go into and access these resources that we're talking about. They can access They can access laptops, they can also access internet connectivity, and they can be able to also access the training through the centers there. So that's the very first step that they need to do. And now once they get into the classroom, of course, they need to have the willingness now to learn and ask questions and also identify what they are gifted in or what they are passionate about. If you're passionate about data, then enroll for a data entry class. If you're passionate about maybe writing, enroll for a writing and translation class. Once you have enrolled for that class, you're going to receive the very adequate training. And not that only, you're also going to be enrolled to a mentorship session program for 1 month, a whole 1 month, where you have a mentor who will walk with you the journey. Where you have a challenge, you can always ask the mentor a question, and they are going to handhold you until we know that you have now acquired the necessary skills for you to be able now to work online and earn a decent wage. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that particular elaboration. And over to you again, Bwana Zablon. The reason I asked this question to Bwana Teresios is that a number of young people in this particular country are already in the online field. That's where they make their money from. A lot of people are doing transcription, and a lot of people are doing those other online writing jobs, and some other online jobs that are present in different platforms. How serious are these jobs? Are they jobs? Kenyans ask that. Are you in a job, or are you just unapoteza muda as you maybe wait for another opportunity to come through? Is it a job, or are we just preparing ourselves? Are we transitioning from joblessness to jobfulness, if there's such a word?
All right. Let me just give an example of myself.
Okay.
Online work is work. I just want to make it that I'll understand that online work is work. So when I was in my second year, that was in 2014. So that's when I was introduced in online work. Before even I interacted with the Ajira Digital Program, that's when I realized that I can earn something from online space. When the situation was not welcoming, I needed something to pay for my rent and also support myself. So I realized that I can do something. So I started with the data entry. Actually, I started with the data entry. And my roommates, the guys we were staying with, they were online workers. So they already have their account and they were doing these jobs on data correction. So they introduced me, and also they trained me a bit on how to do data coding, data entry with SPSS. And from there now I gained the passion to venture on online space. So from there now I decided to train on to do other jobs on online space, like doing a research, writing a term paper, going ahead and write a grant paper as well, and also do some journal articles. So I gain a lot of insight from these colleagues. And from there now I started also working as an online and digital project manager, where now I could manage a project maybe for some months, for 6 months. So like, we could work with individuals from other countries. Like I worked with someone from US, just managing a project for 6 months from January to June. So that was a digital project management. So I did that. And apart from that, actually I've ventured more on research, doing all these grant paper, article writing, journal paper writing, project analysis. So I do a lot in online space. Yes. To mention a few.
Yeah, to mention a few.
Yes.
And that means young people in this country can work for people even outside the country, even as they look for those opportunities, right? All right. Now, back to you, Bwana Teresios. As the world keeps changing, there has been a need of, every company, every institution, every individual, bettering themselves matters digital. And of course, hence the need for, digital spaces and digital departments in companies and institutions. What are you doing about this? Because I believe there should be opportunities in those particular institutions as they seek to expand their digital spaces.
That's right, Martin. at Ajira, we had factored that, and it's something that is being implemented actually right now. We have what we call Ajira clubs, which are being institutionalized in the various institutions, so that you find in every institution we will have clubs that we call Ajira clubs. Now they are going to mentor and help the young people within that institution to understand the ins and outs of digital, as well as encouraging the local companies, the private sector also to have jobs that they can give to the young people in Kenya, and that is very well catered for, because Ajira, one of the implementing partner of Ajira is KEPSA, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, and so they are also very much involved in providing linkages to and encouraging the local companies and local businesses to create opportunities for digital work, and that now the young people can benefit and can work on. So as the world keeps on changing, and at Ajira we actually say is the future works online, many companies are focusing their energies into investing into digital related or digital enabled jobs. We are currently in the fourth industrial revolution, and this is the age where now we have machines doing work that was supposed to be done by human beings. We have machines, artificial intelligence is the center stage of this revolution. And so we are at a stage where now everybody needs to understand what digital is and what digital can do in their businesses, and that definitely will require human beings to teach these machines how to do the work. And that's now how digital works comes within the organizations or within businesses. Yeah,
definitely. And we're hoping to make sure that we can push a number of people towards that that level that you're talking about. Now over to you, Bwana Zablon. Most of the people you're training, you're one of the trainers there at Ajira Digital, and most of the people you're training, you're expecting that they will go to not just be employed, but to create employment. How easy is it to create employment in the country? Practically. Don't tell me things on the paper. Practically.
All right. Again, I will say that it is easy, and also on the other hand, it is hard maybe to create an opportunity, to create unemployment. That will depend on the type of unemployment that you want to create. Like for instance, if you want to maybe to create a sole proprietorship, that's a small business maybe operated by one individual. That means that's just one employment just for oneself. So that will be easy because you just need a license to operate the business. But when maybe you focus on maybe you want to create maybe a corporate or maybe a limited liability company or maybe a partnership, that means you need to go ahead and register. Where now, because now it's a bit, it's a big maybe a business that will offer maybe job opportunity to other youths or maybe someone else outside there. That means there are some procedures which you need to go through so that you can go ahead and have the business, you own the business now. So there is a procedure which sometimes it's a bit hectic. But I believe that as long as maybe you have a positive mind, maybe I would like to say that wealth and poverty lies in our brains. But I believe if you maybe you want maybe to be a failure, then that's what you will be. But myself, I would advise our youth to have a positive attitude. You can start from the bottom, as I said. You can't start climbing a tree just from the top. So you need to start from the bottom. And again, that's the reason why I said it's a bit hard and it's a bit easy to start a business. If you want to start maybe a small business or maybe maybe a sole employment just for an individual, to be very easy. But when you want to maybe to go for higher, that you want to own a big company, to have maybe to generate a lot of income, then you need to go an extra mile. That means now makes it hard because there are some component that you need to incorporate so that you can start up this business, the big business. Yes.
Definitely. My director tells me we don't have time. How many minutes do we have? 1 minute. Back to you, Teresios, as we wind up. You'll have to make it very quick now because we don't have time. We need to talk about funding. As we climb history, we need food. Funding, where can we get funding as young people? And of course, with that, how far are you as Ajira Digital, in providing 1 million jobs to the country as you wind up?
Okay, thank you, Martin. So about funding, I think there are way too many funding organizations out there. It depends on how you look at it, because we have Wezo Youth Fund, for example, and Youth Enterprise Development Fund that is geared towards funding the youth. But what I understand is that these organizations need tangible projects or businesses running. So you need to have something that you are working on as you approach this organization for funding. And it depends on how you package yourself as a business and how you approach these organizations to fund your businesses.
Definitely.
So for Ajira Digital right now, we have been able to train actually more than 10,000 youths because in the last year we had global pandemic and we had to adjust very quickly. So but so far we've been able to train over 10,000 youths, and we are slowly making the journey towards the 1 million youths, and we are sure we are going to get there. Yeah, so we urge all the youth out there to register. Go to ajiradigital.go.ke and register and book a training session, and let's meet in the training.
All right. That's quite commendable, actually. When you think about the 1,000 steps that you have to take, you just have 199 more steps to take, and you'll be at your 1 million mark.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming through, gentlemen. It was glad having this conversation with you, and I hope you guys will come back. This conversation has just started. Until we get to the 1 million mark, we shall keep talking about this, even beyond. All right. Thank you so much for joining us too from home and getting to understand what we can do with youth empowerment and, of course, through employment. And we talked about the digital space. You now know where you can venture into. You now know of Ajira Digital. They are there to help you. It's a platform in partnership with the Ministry of ICT. And, of course, they shall be able to help you to become better in terms of getting, an employment or a business going through online platforms. We take a short break on KTV Primetime News. We'll be back with more news. Don't go anywhere.